Hi, my name is Chris Benda, Illinois botanizer, and I'm following up on some questions that I received regarding my presentation video about a day in the life of a field biologist and the pioneer cemetery prairies. And the first question, just as the cemetery prairie lands were discovered to harbor a lot of potential and diversity, are there other areas we may be overlooking? So in Illinois, that is probably a very small amount of land that is being overlooked. We've had two, systematic rounds of analysis of the entire state to find natural areas in the 70s. And again, the one that I participated in 2008 to 2012. So there's a potential for something to have been missed, of course. But in Illinois, at least, we have a very good understanding of where the remnants exist and where the potential and diversity lies. What did you study prior to studying biology? Did it relate to biology, botany, ecology in any way? So I was into cars in high school. So I like to tinker around I have an old 1968 Ford Bronco. I had several Camaros and a Dodge van. So my, later teenage years into when I left, my parents' home, was messing around with cars. So I went to technical school for automotive technology. And I think I pretty quickly realized that I was interested in that as a hobby and not an occupation. And I was working at Fastenal, which is an international distributor of fasteners, and moved up quickly there and went to study business at the local university in Winona, Minnesota. And then again, pretty quickly realized that was not the motivation that I had in life to increase fastener sales and such. So that's when I really, at 23, had the epiphany of like, what do I want to do? And now I have the chance to change direction more easily than perhaps later in my life, although at any time in your life is possible for change. So I changed my degree to biology in the ecology track, which was fairly new at that time. They were offering ecology programs, and never looked back. And my love of the outdoors was really why I chose that, because I didn't feel that I had any natural inclination to nature or plants or animals or anything. I just liked being outside on my mountain bike or in the canoe. And so really my love of recreation led me to study biology and ecology, and what a good decision that was. Any new research projects you're currently working on? So I'm going to continue. I have another round of funding to do the big tree measuring. So there are more big champion trees to measure, and that'll be fun. Also, I teach 2 natural area workshops where people learn how to read the landscape and understand the natural communities present in the particular natural division we're at. I do it in Nachusa grasslands and here across Southern Illinois. And so that's really fun to teach people about the plants and the natural communities and how to recognize a high quality area. Also, I've been working on a book for many years about the natural areas of Southern Illinois. I believe that's kind of a resource that is lacking. We have so many of them here, and not trying to explain why they're natural areas, and as well as, garner support for their continued protection and enhancement. Okay, with having to constantly be out in the field and up close to nature, what is the most dangerous experience you have had? So other than the experience that I had that led me to write the Chigger poem, I was bedridden from being bitten by so many. I would say the most dangerous experience I had was having a landowner threaten me with a semi-automatic rifle while I was in Missouri, and I was doing nothing wrong. And I felt not only in danger, but that was a very unacceptable way to treat someone. And it was very upsetting. So I felt in danger with that experience. Other questions? What's the most unique natural area you have studied in Illinois? So I would say that algific talus slopes are the unique community type in Illinois, and I have not visited one yet. But those are basically ice caves where they emit a constant flow of cool air, so that creates a microclimate on the talus above them that certain plants take advantage of. So those are mostly along the Mississippi River in the driftless region, the unglaciated part of Northwest Illinois. But definitely being from Minnesota and now living in Southern Illinois, studying and understanding the cypress swamps has been a very different experience than anything else I've done. I've spent a lot of time in the mountains and in the desert and in the forests of the north. So the swamps of Southern Illinois and farther south has really been a new experience for me, learning about natural areas in Illinois. What's my favorite natural area in Illinois? Okay, really tough question, as you can imagine. I really think Illinois Beach State Park is one of the premier sites in Illinois and in the nation, as well as LaRue Pine Hills is also very diverse and deserves recognition. But my favorite place that I've always said for years was Cave Creek Glade Nature Preserve in the Cache River Wetlands area of Johnson County. So this is basically a hill of limestone that has prairie plants. And so again, being from the northern part of the United States and moving down to Southern Illinois where things are kind of different, I enjoyed seeing prairie plants, and this site is very diverse, very well managed. And I think, it's one of my favorite areas. I also tell people, if you have one day to come to Southern Illinois and explore, and you really want a good, tour of the diversity and the scenery, I would go to Camp Ondasonk. Now, this is privately owned, but they do welcome visitation. You have to stop by the office, sign a waiver. But Camp Ondasonk, that has the tallest waterfall in Illinois, is definitely a favorite that I would recommend. What areas would we recommend visiting for those starting out exploring nature? I would say that no matter where you live in Illinois, there's probably a public nature preserve or state park near you. And so just go to any undeveloped land where plants are allowed to grow and animals occupy, and just walk around and start looking at things, start noticing the plants. And I think Newcomb's Wildflower Guide is the book that I use to start learning plants. And I thought it was a good comprehensive guide, but also sort of geared towards the beginner. And obviously, the more plants and wildflowers you see and recognize, the easier it'll get as you go forward. So you just have to keep looking. You have to start somewhere, go out, make some observations. Use iNaturalist. That'd be a really fun way to get involved too, because then if you don't know what you have, you can just load it to the website and people will identify it for you. So try that. And then, what is your favorite plant species? Whew, these are tough questions. So I am particularly fond of orchids, and in Illinois, there are about 55 species that were once known from the state, and unfortunately about 40 or so remain extant. And I've seen all but 2 of them in Illinois that still remain. So I would say probably like the showy lady slipper orchid, which coincidentally is the state wildflower of Minnesota, my home state. But really all the orchids I particularly enjoy, as well as some of the carnivorous and parasitic plants. The oddball ones are kind of neat to me, but I do enjoy wildflowers and variety of plants, as you can imagine. So there you have it. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you, and I hope I answered the question sufficiently. Again, you can follow me on my website, illinoisbotanizer.com, and I hope our paths cross someday. Thank you.